Welcome back, children. Now, before starting transportation in plants, I would like to go back to circulation of blood through heart. One important thing which I missed, later on I recalled, that is about blood pressure. Now, what is this blood pressure? The pressure which blood exerts on the wall of the arteries, that is called as blood pressure. Now, when the ventricles contract, then blood is thrown out from the heart, and then the pressure of blood is maximum, that is called as systolic pressure. So systolic pressure is due to ventricular contraction. Its value is 120 millimeter of mercury coulomb in case of human being, adult human being. And next is when the ventricles relax, right? That is called as diastolic pressure. Its value is 80 millimeter of mercury coulomb. So systolic pressure and diastolic pressure, these two are the components of blood pressure. Blood pressure in man is measured by an instrument called sphygmomanometer, right? So, blood pressure is measured by sphygmomanometer, and it has two types of pressure: systolic pressure, which is due to ventricular contraction, its value is 120 millimeter of mercury, and another is diastolic pressure, which is during ventricular relaxation, that is 80 millimeter of mercury coulomb. And blood pressure is measured by an instrument called as sphygmomanometer. So next, children, we will start transportation in plants. Now in plants, transportation of substances is done via two pathways. One is through xylem, another is through phloem. Now xylem helps in movement of water and mineral salts from the roots to the leaves. Now xylem is made up of 4 different elements. You know that, you have done in class 9. What are they? They are tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fiber. Now these xylem vessels of roots is in connection with the xylem vessels of stem, that again is in connection with xylem vessels in leaves. So thus water and mineral salts which is absorbed from the soil by the root hair is transferred to the xylem of the root, then from the xylem of the root it goes to the xylem of the stem, and further through the xylem of the leaves it reaches the leaf. Now how does water enter the root hair? For this, what happens, as the concentration of water outside in the soil is more than concentration of water inside the cell in root hair, or you can say that the concentration of ions inside the root hair is more than that outside. As a result of this, water starts moving inside the root hair. So due to this difference in concentration of water between the inside and the outside environment, water starts entering the root hair by the process of endosmosis. And as it enters, this water enters the xylem vessels of root, and then via the xylem vessels of the root it reaches upward. Now in this case, a pressure is developed inside the root which is called as root pressure. So this root pressure helps the water to push it upward. Right, children? But imagine the height of the trees. So root pressure is not fully responsible for movement of water up to great heights, and neither enough root pressure is developed to force water against the gravity to reach such heights. So in that case, plant depends on another process which is called as transpiration pull. Now you know what is transpiration? Transpiration is the loss of water from the upper parts of the plant, that is from the leaves, in the form of water vapor. Now whenever water is lost from the leaves, continuously water is sucked up through the xylem. So this transpiration pull is the most important factor for which water is transported to such great heights. So two forces are responsible for movement of water from the roots to the leaves. First is root pressure, which is minimal. Second is transpiration pull, which plays active role in transportation of water. Now this transportation of water and minerals from the root to the leaves is called as conduction. Clear? So this you must remember. Next, after the food is manufactured in the leaves, then through the phloem, food is distributed to each and every part of the plant body. Now phloem, as you have read in class 9, contains 4 different types of elements. What are they? They are the phloem parenchyma, right? Phloem fiber, companion cells, and sieve tubes. So out of these, all are living except phloem fiber. Phloem parenchyma, companion sieve tubes, companion cells, all these are living cells. Now, with the help of these, food is transported in both directions, towards the upper region of the plant as well as towards the roots. Now, movement of food through the phloem requires energy. So whenever energy is utilized energy in the form of ATP is utilized for transport of food and food material from the leaves to different parts of the plant's body, that process is called as active transport. Remember, active transport. Active transport means use of energy in the form of ATP, right? Use of energy in the form of ATP for movement of food from the storage organs to different parts of the plant body. Plants, it has been found that they store food in the form of starch. Then at the time of spring, when buds start growing, so to provide sufficient energy to these buds, food is transported from the storage organ to the bud, and this involves expenditure of energy in the form of ATP. So such type of transportation is called as active transport, which requires energy or expenditure of energy. Clear, children? So remember, transportation in plants is done by two different types of tissues. One is xylem, one is phloem. Xylem is mainly involved in transportation of water and mineral salts in one direction from roots to the leaves. Phloem involves transport of food manufactured in the leaves to all the parts of the plant body, both in upward direction as well as in the downward direction. So it is bidirectional flow of substance occurs through phloem. So this movement of food is called as translocation, remember. So movement of prepared food from the leaves to all parts of the plant body, that is called as translocation. And movement of water from the roots to the leaves, that is called as conduction. So if you are asked what is the difference between conduction and translocation, you should be able to state the difference. Right, children? So that is all in transportation. We have completed transportation in animals as well as transportation in plants. In our next class, we will come to the last part of life process, that is excretion. Thank you.